Hi, I'm Tom from Do It Yourself Home Automation, and in this case also from debugger.medium.com. And today I am joining you to share some very important news about the cat lawyer incident that happened yesterday. So if you're not aware of this, yesterday a lawyer named Dan Ponton was testifying in a court in Texas, an actual court proceeding in front of the judge Roy Ferguson. This is in the 394th Judicial District in Texas. And he turned into a cat. More specifically, he mistakenly engaged a filter on his computer that turned him into a animated lolcat, basically. And you can see the video. It's on Twitter. It's in the New York Times. It's all over the internet at the moment. And the best thing about it, I think, was that he, tried to proceed, tried to continue to testify as a cat. Realized that wasn't necessarily going to work. And then started to try to explain to the judge that he wasn't really a cat and that he had just turned on this filter. He was live. He wasn't actually a cat. And I just think that's so emblematic of our times that not only did this horrible Zoom fail happen, in the middle of somebody testifying in court, but that he felt, everything's up in the air right now. People might think I'm actually a cat, so I better just reassure this judge that I'm not. So kind of, a perfect expression of where we are in the world right now. But here at debugger.medium.com, we of course wanted to figure out exactly what had happened and exactly what filter Ponton had engaged. So we started to do some research. I started to look into the story and reached some conclusions and actually reached some final conclusions this morning about the exact filter that was used. So my first thoughts were, this must be a Zoom filter that he had engaged by mistake. And so I looked at the Zoom filters that are available, and you can find some filters that will turn you into some things, put a halo over your head and that kind of thing, but I didn't find the cat filter there. So my next thought was Snap Camera, and I think this is still the best if you want to be a cat on Zoom right now. This is the best way to do it. Snap Camera is from Snapchat. It allows you to apply Snapchat filters to the feed coming out of your webcam, and you can be a rainbow unicorn or barf rainbows or whatever you want to do, and you can become a cat in real time using that for your next Zoom call. And so I wrote that up, and we kept looking into it, and found at the last minute via some really helpful posts that I think my editors had seen, and also that our team had been finding. There's an old blog post on this ChemBark website. This is a account of something similar that happened to somebody on a job interview, I think in 2015, where he turned into a cat in the middle of a Skype interview and ended up losing the job he was going for. Actually, this is 2013, it looks like. And other journalists were also following that particular story and trying to figure out, again, what had happened with it. So we continued to look into this. Continued to research. I saw Rachel Metz at CNN was looking into the same kinds of things. And right before we went to press, we were able to include some of that. Our suspicion that, in fact, this had come from a Dell Webcam Central program. So this program that had been packaged with old Dell computers, it's the one that was highlighted in that ChemBark post. And that was our best guess, is that was what specifically had caused the issue. At the same time, though, that's ancient software. It was hard to go and test it. And if you want to be a cat right now, the best bet is still Snap Camera. This is an example of me transformed into a cat using one of the filters, Cat Selfie V2, that's available through that program. So there's instructions in this original article. It's at debugger.medium.com about how you can go in and use Snap Camera to be a cat yourself in real time on your next call. However, we still didn't feel that we'd adequately explored this. So I started to look into it more, and really I wanted to see if I could figure out exactly what had happened with that Dell Webcam Central program and hopefully duplicate it for myself. So I looked in an old bin in my office. I don't throw away a lot of tech products, so I had a bin that was labeled Archived Tech. And I went in there and rummaged around, and I found an old Dell laptop from I think 2000, at least 2010, maybe even a little bit earlier. It's an Inspiron N4010. It's an ancient thing. And and I fired it up. It had no battery. I had to connect it up to the wall to get power. I had to bypass a Linux OS I had installed on it at one point. But finally I got it up and running, and I searched and I found the jackpot. In fact, I had Dell Webcam Central. I opened it up, and there it was in the avatar screen. I was able to find the actual exact program that had been used there, and in fact the exact filter that had turned Ponton into a cat when he was live on that Zoom testimony in court. So I switched it on, and sure enough, I turned into a cat too. So the filter is real, it's there, it is part of Dell Webcam Central. And my next step was, okay, let's install this on a modern computer. So Dell Webcam Central was deprecated in 2012. It's been gone for a long, long while. But as I'll detail in a piece that I'm working on right now as an update for debugger, it's actually possible to install it on a modern computer. And I have it up and running here. So I'm going to pull this over. Let's see if we're able to see it on the screen. I think the reason my video here on the right is wigging out is that this is doing some weird stuff with my webcam feed. But there I am, in fact, as the lawyer cat. And I can switch over here. We'll see if we're able to see me. Yep, there I am. Real me on the screen there. Now I'm going to go over to that avatars window, and I can select and be lawyer cat. And if I look side to side in reality, then lawyer cat will look side to side. If I move my eyes around, he kind of moves his eyes around, and if I blink, sometimes he will blink, not always. I don't think it's a great software, but it does the trick. You can also be lots of other things, other cats. You can choose different avatars in the software there. But again, there I am, lawyer cat. This is coming from my Dell webcam. Actually, sorry, this is a Logitech modern webcam. The one on my laptop was a Dell cam. And the good news is, if you feel like wading through installing this ancient piece of software on your own computer, then you can actually become lawyer cat as well, if that's something that you'd like to do. The good news is that you can record videos as lawyer cat. So I've done that here. You just press this big record button, and you're able to record a static video from that Dell Webcam Central program. The bad news is that I haven't yet been able to figure out how to use the output of the program in a live Zoom call. And I think the reason for that is that my suspicion is Dell Webcam Central for old integrated webcams in a Dell laptop or a Dell monitor actually served as the driver for the webcam in addition to the software that you would use to pull up the cam's feed. And that means that when you enabled a filter like Lawyer Cat here, it actually would have probably applied it almost at the hardware level. It would have applied it to the stream before it fed that stream into Windows. So if Ponton was using an old Dell laptop, which is probably the case, and he had Zoom up and he somehow turned on the Dell Webcam Central, maybe it came on at random, it probably would have, if this filter had been used, this avatar had been used before, probably pulled it up and put the filter on the feed from his webcam, kind of at that hardware level, one step below the actual Zoom program he was using, and then Zoom would have picked that feed up and put it into his live testimony. And to Ponton's credits, it would have been very difficult to figure that out. While you're testifying in court, it wasn't like he just pressed the wrong button in Zoom. He probably had to then go and find this Webcam Central program. You can see there's no button to switch this back off again. Like, how do I even, if I click it again, it doesn't do anything. Now it actually seems to be frozen, so I can't change avatars. The only way I found is I actually have to go back to video effects, and that switches it off again. Again, completely not intuitive how you would disable this if you found yourself as Lawyer Cat in the middle of a court appearance. So I think it's probably, again, something that in old computers would have happened at almost at the hardware level, and that's why it was so challenging for Ponton to switch it off. It also means that on a modern computer where you have a modern webcam like my Logitech camera, it's going to be very hard to be able to apply that to the live stream that's going into Zoom. The Webcam Central program can pick it up, that's why you can record it, but it's not, as far as I can tell, handing it back out to other software. And again, that's going to make it challenging to pick up that feed in Zoom like you can do with Snap Camera and do a live filter in real time. So if you want to do this in real time in Zoom, basically your only option is use an ancient Dell laptop. And I'm going to test that and see if using my old ancient Dell laptop, I can actually get a live feed with the filter applied like Ponton mistakenly did. If you don't want to go through all that hassle, I detail again here on, if you don't have an old Dell laptop, how you can use Snap Camera to achieve basically the same effect on any modern computer. And you can do lots of other fun stuff that makes it a lot more fun to be on a Zoom meeting or to testify in Zoom court. To continue to follow this story, follow me at debugger.medium.com. Please follow me here on YouTube as well. And again, shortly we should have an update with some more information on how to experiment with the Webcam Central program on your own computer and how to become Lawyer Cat, as I have done in real time here too. So follow along, debugger.medium.com, and follow me here on YouTube.